We got some great news for AEW. Honestly, this makes me so happy, and I'm happy to talk about it because it's something that needs to be said. Also, Undertaker joining the creative team, and we got to talk about a top SmackDown star joining WWE Raw. And if you guys want more videos like this, don't forget to click that subscribe button. Honestly, I'm going to keep you guys updated with everything that happens in professional wrestling literally every single day, and you never want to miss a video because there is literally so much happening in professional wrestling. Like this one, Undertaker joining the WWE creative team. He did an interview with WrestleStar and basically had a conversation. He was asked about joining the creative team. As you guys all know, this has been rumored for a while that WWE really wants The Undertaker to join the company in some official capacity. And we've seen him lurking around a little bit with the Performance Center. We see him, involved in WWE LFG. And so to me, it is kind of a no-brainer to bring in The Undertaker and have him as part of the creative team. Now, of course, with WWE, this is where things get really interesting because The Undertaker is a longtime wrestler. He is a veteran. And it's one thing to have a wrestler come in and a veteran come in as a producer or as a coach, but it's another to have them actually part of the creative team. And so because The Undertaker has been involved in so many different eras of professional wrestling, that level of experience and intelligence that he has is something that I would easily be a fan of. Now, I don't know how Undertaker would write a storyline. I don't know how Undertaker would produce these storylines, but I do like the idea of having a little bit of that influence in the company. I have actually always been under the belief, have some TV writers in the room, have some WWE superstars currently that are working for the company in the room, and then also have your actual creative team filled with, veterans or whatever in the room. And there should be a synergy between everybody. So for example, just to kind of give you an idea, if Nia Jax is in a storyline with Tiffany Stratton, in the creative room, when you're discussing the storyline and planning it out, Triple H, being the head of creative, should be in the room with your writing team, which consists of, some of the people that came from, a collegiate background where they have their degree, some people, that were in the TV business, some people that are, former WWE stars, in this case, The Undertaker. And then you should have all of them all in the room and everybody give your input and map it out. And I think if you have a synergy between everybody, Tiffany and Nia Jax in this particular case, hypothetically speaking, would be able to also contribute to their creative while having everybody in the room together. And you'd listen to ideas and you write it down together and you map it out together. And I just think having that synergy there not only really just gives you a really good outline of things, but also it allows everybody to collaborate. And I'm a huge believer that collaboration brings great results. And in this case, probably would do great things. So, yeah, man, I support The Undertaker joining the creative team. Obviously, we don't know what his schedule's like, but he does WWE LFG, and maybe this is a sign of things to come, so that would be cool. All right, guys, let's talk about it. LA Knight potentially moving to WWE Raw. Well, people within WWE are actually pushing for this. According to WrestleVotes, WWE are pushing for LA Knight to be moved to Monday Night Raw. The report notes that his presence on Netflix would be viewed as something of a refreshing change. Knight is currently part of SmackDown, has obviously popped up recently on Raw with the Seth Rollins, Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker feud. And the belief is that he will be, at some point on WWE Raw more often because of the storyline. However, WWE hasn't made the official decision for him to move to Monday Night Raw. Now, I want to talk about LA Knight for a long time. I don't feel like I've necessarily really broken this down in depth, so maybe you guys don't have the patience for this, but LA Knight is a great performer. No doubt about it. LA Knight, in my opinion, suffers from the mid-card purgatory, which is not due to his skill, and it's not due to his popularity, but it's due to the fact that WWE already has top storylines in the mix planned out for the next 6 to 12 months. And so what that means is, while LA Knight is really good, how do you move LA Knight in a position that immediately puts him in the world championship picture when WWE has already been planning that and working towards that on television for a while? It's a very difficult task. Now, what I do believe to be the case is that with LA Knight being moved to Raw, yes, I agree that more than likely it would be a refreshing change and it would be really good for him. But also, I think it could be the thing that could take him to the world title picture in general. Now, I believe by next year, 2026, Sami Zayn is winning the World Heavyweight Championship, right? I genuinely believe that. I think that will be the case. I think that makes a lot of sense, and that's probably more than likely happening. LA Knight is a huge babyface. Is there an opportunity where for the next year, LA Knight continues to kill it on Netflix as the top babyface, and then at some point, WWE says, we're going to do the turn, and LA Knight turns heel, and that's how he goes for the World Heavyweight Championship? Or do you try to capitalize on the fact that he's a huge babyface and you have him win the World Heavyweight Championship as a huge babyface? But now as a fan, you are torn between deciding between Sami Zayn and LA Knight, which is very difficult. Now, there's a lot of other people that I think should also be World Heavyweight Championship. You know, they should win the belt. So that also makes it a little bit more difficult as well. The way I'm looking at this is that WWE they got to be careful here. But the change to Raw makes the most sense, and it is the one that I would like to see the most, and hopefully that happens. And that brings us to our final topic, ladies and gentlemen, AEW Dynamite Grand Slam. Whew. Wow, what a show. Some people liked it, some people didn't like it, but here is the thing. The reality is, you guys can sit here and leave your comments of how you hate AEW or how you love AEW. We're not going to sit here and lie on this channel. We're not going to sit here and make up facts, right? We're not going to use our opinions to utilize, a narrative that isn't necessarily true. AEW has not been doing that great with TV viewership in 2025. Okay? The truth is, they're not. Tony Khan could sit there publicly and say, yes, the numbers come out every week. They are not where they used to be. Now, AEW Grand Slam Mexico, a lot of people believed, oh my God, nobody's going to be interested in this event. Well, that's not true. They sold a shit ton of tickets, which was phenomenal for them, which was huge. But now the numbers have come out and they drew 736,000 viewers on TBS. Now, keep in mind, the week before, AEW did 497,000 viewers. Okay? We are not talking about the numbers on Max because, one, nobody actually knows the numbers on Max. It's not been revealed. Andrew Zarian himself, who has been really good about AEW and Warner Bros. Discovery, he's already debunked all the claims about AEW's numbers on that show, on that app. So, what this tells me, though, is AEW, to get this huge increase, man, something is clicking. Now, what may that be? I don't know. But the fact that AEW is collaborating with CMLL, and it really felt like a big deal to a lot of fans that they were willing to tune in, is very, very good. It has been over a year since AEW has had these numbers. Over a year. So that is very good news for AEW. And honestly, the only reason why I'm excited about it is because I want these companies to do well. And I'm not really interested in debating about HBO Max numbers and this and that. At the end of the day, what I'm interested in is seeing that initial TV viewership number go up, because that is the number that is made publicly, not the Max numbers. And the fact that this number increase is so high tells me people have interest in the way AEW works with CMLL, which hopefully is an indication that we'll see more of it in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the Ango Show.